Welcome back into the Golden Grizzlies pregame show presented by Tropical Smoothie. I'm Jonathan Turner alongside Patty Cesarini, and today we have a big matchup in Horizon League play. The Golden Grizzlies coming off a huge win against Cleveland State, their first in 13 tries, taking on Purdue-Fort Wayne, who currently sits second in the Horizon League, but they're also undefeated.
Yeah, and that was a huge win, like you said, for the program, first time since 2017. But what really hunkered things down for Oakland down the stretch, too, was their defense. They came up huge. It confused Cleveland State a little bit, and that's what they're going to have to do against this Purdue-Fort Wayne team as well.
A Purdue-Fort Wayne team that is number one right now in the league in three-point shooting, and if you're playing the zone defense, that is something you might see a lot of tonight. How are they going to be able to handle that?
They're going to have to extend out that zone. They're going to have to get their heels on the three-point line. They cannot let Lauren Ross, for one, start heating up. She was a little bit cold against Youngstown State. You can expect her to come in this game, and she's going to want to be rocking. She's going to want to be firing the ball. They all like to do that, but her especially. Get those heels after the three-point line and really contest the shots.
Both these teams are coming off of victories this past week. Obviously, a one-day rest for the Golden Grizzlies against Cleveland State. It's a three-day rest for Purdue-Fort Wayne if they played against Youngstown State earlier this week. What does that look like as far as rest, and how's that going to play in today's game?
Well, rest, for one thing, it's about resetting your mind and getting ready for the next game, but it's also resetting your body too. So for Oakland, coming off of one day of rest, they have to flip the script pretty quickly. Now, they did prep for Purdue-Fort Wayne earlier in the week. That's something that Coach Dina Richard mentioned, and that's definitely going to help them out in this aspect. But for Purdue-Fort Wayne, coming off of 3 days rest, their bodies are just ready to go.
No question about that. A lot more to come here on the pregame show presented by Tropical Smoothie. We had conversations with both coaches coming up next.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
Drives to the basket, it's in! 4-3, of course! For three!
Coach, Oakland's coming off a huge win against Cleveland State. They held them to shooting 23% from beyond the arc. You're a team that shoots 34% from beyond the arc. You know, when you look at those kind of numbers, what does that mean for your offense going into this matchup?
Well, I just think Oakland's playing really good basketball right now. They just do a lot of winning things. Obviously, you know, with Skrupski and Macy, they're both playing and shooting at a very high clip. So defensively, they're going to mix it up on you. I think that probably bothered Cleveland State a little bit, mixing it up between the two zones and man. And then, you know, offensively, they're just confident right now. So I'm excited for them. Obviously, was a good friend of Tungate's, and you know, excited for them to see some success. But obviously, big challenge for us, you know, coming in here and trying to stay hot ourselves.
And you mentioned two of their players, Maddie Skrupski, Macy Smith. They're kind of a tandem duo. They also have other girls that can chip in as well. But what's your preparation look like to slow down this Oakland offense right now?
Yeah, well, we've got to be disruptive, and that's kind of who we are. You know, we've got some length and some athleticism to throw at her, multiple bodies. You know, the thing with, you know, Maddie is she's not just a good shooter, but if she's comfortable, she can find her teammates, you know, with one hand, with two hands, no looks. She's a talented kid. So, you know, we've got to be disruptive. We've got to make them feel our presence, and hopefully we come ready to do that tomorrow.
I appreciate the time, Coach.
Yeah, no worries.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature.
Drives to the basket, and it's in! 4-3. Of course! That's 3!
Coach, two tough back-to-back matchups. How are you just able to shift the mindset of your team from Cleveland State and now onto Purdue Fort Wayne?
Bottom line is that we have one-day prep for Purdue. The one thing that I don't think our players realize that on Monday we did prep for them. We were trying to be a little sneaky in that aspect. A few of them picked up on that, but so we did prep a little bit already for them, and then the last few days for Cleveland State. But we just got to change our mindset to different personnel mainly. Our defense is going to stay the same. We have to be solid with what we're doing defensively, whether we're in our man or our zone.
And Purdue Fort Wayne's a team that really likes to shoot from beyond
Yes,
the perimeter, you know, especially Lauren Ross. How does
Yes.
your zone work against that perimeter shooting?
A lot of communication on our players' part. We're telling them all heels to the three, so they got to extend past that three a lot, like they did versus Purdue and Cleveland State game. But there has to be a ton of communication, because the one thing that we do have to do is get to corners, because they have 4 shooters on the court at all times, sometimes 5.
I appreciate the time, Coach.
Absolutely.
To the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. And together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
In every moment, in every shared smile, OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card is there, earning 3% cash back on groceries to stock their dorm room, 2% back on fueling up the tank for the journey ahead. With a $100 welcome offer and the first year's annual fee waived, it's more than just a card. It's your partner in making every moment count, even the ones that tug at your heartstrings. Make every moment and every mile more rewarding with an OU Credit Union Visa Signature Card.
Welcome back into the Golden Grizzlies pregame show presented by Tropical Smoothie. Great conversation with both coaches, Patty, talking about this matchup. Let's talk here about Purdue Fort Wayne first. They've got a 1-2 punch in Broman-Schmeichel and in Ross. How are the Golden Grizzlies going to be able to handle them here tonight?
It's not so much about being able to handle those two, but it's about this whole team as well. Purdue Fort Wayne's a very deep team. You know, they go into their bench and they're very effective. They like to shoot the three. We've mentioned that. The coaches have also mentioned that. That's a huge part of this game. But I think where it's going to come into play and what's going to be the difference maker here is once you shut down their top players, or at least slow them down, because it's very hard to shut down top players, especially in this league. But once you try to slow them down and limit them, you got to make sure that nobody else opens up and takes the game away either.
Yeah, there's no question about that. We talk about this Oakland Golden Grizzlies side, and before we get into the players and talking about Skorupski and Macy Smith, the emotional roller coaster of winning a game that you hadn't won in 13 tries, is that going to be a factor in today's game?
Well, it very well could be, and I think the one-day rest, too, and 1 day of prep, although you prepped earlier in the week, maybe Monday, Tuesday for Purdue-Fort Wayne, that's going to be the biggest issue, the biggest hump to come over. Can you come out strong? Can you come out very aggressive in this game? Because that's what Purdue-Fort Wayne's going to do. They're well-rested. They're ready to go. They're going to want to win this ball game. It's going to be a matter of who can come out strong and who's going to, at the end of the day, want to win the ball game more.
Oh, no worries. And we now talk about Maddie Skorupski and Macy Smith. Skorupski, second in the Horizon League in scoring per game right now. And you got Macy Smith, who has been a tremendous addition here to this women's side. Talk about these two players for a second and what we can expect from them tonight.
Well, for one, Maddie Skorupski, she started off the game against Cleveland State a little bit slow, right? But what she did, while she wasn't necessarily being effective in her own scoring, was making sure that her teammates were effective. She was facilitating the offense. She was getting into the middle of Cleveland State's zone and being able to distribute the ball that opened up her teammates because everyone's so focused in on her. And I think that's something that she does extremely well. And then Macy Smith plays off of it well. She knows where to relocate so that she can get the ball and then she can fire off shots. She's also a woman who can drive into the paint. She can put things off the glass. And that's where those two can really pack the punch because they play off of each other so well.
A big game here today for both these teams, both looking to stay unbeaten in the Horizon League. You're going to watch it all on ESPN Plus right after this. But for Patty Cesarini, I'm Jonathan Turner. Stick around and watch the game here on ESPN. You've been watching the pregame show presented by Tropical Smoothie.